Welcome back to Kletus Roadside Service. We're rolling around. You know how we do it. Just now leaving the shop. It is 9:12, and I just left the shop. Yeah, it's not because I slept in. I already planned on leaving kind of late today because otherwise I'm going to get to the hotel at like 1. And that's not, I mean, I don't mind getting to the hotel by 1, but what if I'm going to get there at 1, what's the difference me getting there at fucking 6? What's the difference me getting there at fucking, 5 o'clock or something, So I'm like, I'll just leave late, and relax a little bit. And also, we had a really big rainstorm come through last night into this morning, and it dumped, I guess, like over 5 inches of rain in like 10 hours, which is, I don't know, I guess it's not too bad, but it flooded out a lot of shit. There was a lot of, the drainage in Kansas City isn't super great. So it'll drain out. It just takes a while for it to drain out. So like our shop, like I got a call at 4:30 in the morning, and it was our office lady. She said, "I'm not sure what time you're coming in, but I've gotten reports that it's completely flooded and nobody can make it in." I'm like, "Oh, okay. Well, I didn't plan on coming in until later anyways. The less rain I have to be in, the better." And it was raining this morning. So I just said, all right, cool. And I just took that for what I thought it was worth, which was come in late as fuck. And I did. And it's all right. Got in, and surprisingly, the areas that I thought would be really flooded still, they drain, like I said. So I guess they drained out pretty well. But an area that doesn't flood all the time is right in front of our shop. And it's still flooded. I mean, you can see on the fence, it came up about 2.5 feet up on the fence. You can see all the leaves stuck to it. But it's down to about a foot now, so. Yeah, I got the damn hiccups again. Damn, I don't like that. So, yeah, I don't know. Drove my truck in because the radar that I was looking at, which I'm upset with my radar lately. I really am, because the other day it rained. It was raining like crazy, and the radar was saying it's barely anything, but it was raining like crazy. And then the radar updated, and it's like, oh yeah, actually this is a bigger deal. I don't know how to exactly read radars, but I just see if it's red or an orange and green shit, that means it's raining. And it was like, this is way too hard of a storm for it to be this tiny little thing. It was like a rain cloud over my house is what it looked like on the radar. I'm like, what the fuck? And then I looked at the radar this morning, and it looked like it was clearing up. Like, it does the past and future into the present or whatever. But the radar was coming over, and it looked like it was about to break, and there was going to be nothing. But then the future scan, like, repopulated a bunch of rain behind it, and I was like, I don't think that's correct at all. And I think I am correct, because it hasn't rained at all on me at all today. Got in my truck and drove to work, and everything ended up just fine. I'd like to ride the bike. I don't know. If I'm staying out of town, I'm not going to ride the bike, probably. Not because I'm worried about my bike. I can park it inside. But just because, the weather is more predictable throughout the day, even though it's unpredictable at all times. You got to actually look up at the fucking sky to figure out what it's going to do. The radars have been a little off. But, yeah, I don't know. I'm going to ride the bike this weekend. I'm working today, staying out, back again in Alva. I don't get my Holiday Inn. Not getting my Holiday Inn tonight, which is kind of unfortunate, but that's okay. There's another hotel right next door, and they're willing to bring me in there, so that was nice of them. And it's got a little bit better parking. I was going to park because I think I've brought it up several times before, but there's 3 hotels right next door to each other in Alva, and the Holiday Inn is the furthest one from the truck stop that I go to, but it's still right there. But the people, they park their box trucks and shit in the big semi parking spots, which I guess if I'm in a box truck and I read, oh, large truck parking, I'm going to go ahead and park there. But it's like, you would fit in a parking spot. And now a real semi is here, and I can't get in the fucking parking lot. So I park on this little dirt road in between the hotels, but it rained there last night. So parking there is not going to be an option, because I did that once before. It was not a good idea. I really did not think I was going to make it out of there, especially fully loaded. You know, fully loaded in some really soupy mud. And surprisingly, I didn't get stuck and I got out of there. But anyways, I got a different hotel, and they have an actual graveled out area for big, large trucks to park. It's kind of hard to park there whenever all the fucking cars get in the parking lot, though, you know, because it's kind of like a curvy entrance, and then you got to go into the parking lot, and then if you don't swing those corners wide enough, you're going to hit a pole or run over a curb or something. That's nothing I want to do. So I'm going to be getting there pretty early, I guess, ish today. But if the Holiday Inn is fully booked up, that means the other hotels are probably on their way to being fully booked up, and there's going to be a lot of fucking people there. I just got to get there early enough that all the people that are, you know, traveling that direction aren't going to be there yet, you know? They're booking the hotel, but they ain't there yet. I don't know. Maybe they are. I don't know. Summer. So, yeah. Now, to get to the little bit juicier parts of what I got going on. Yesterday, I got to the shop, got the truck fueled up and parked, and got the fuck out of there quickly. And, well, I did go talk to the office lady. I'm like, can you please not take my job away from me? And she said, well, the other guy didn't tell me which job he would rather have. I'm like, well, I'm a guy, and I'm telling you which one I'd rather have. So I don't know if that's going to do anything for me. I was like, you know what? At the end of the day, whatever's on my schedule is what I'll be doing. Just know I'd be happier one way than the other. And the other guy isn't going to give a fuck. I think he's actually going to be happier in the other way. But whatever. I mean, you do what you're going to do. We'll see what happens. So I still have yet. I'm not going to check my schedule until fucking Saturday, unless somebody calls me and tells me that I got changed over to do this still. I'm going to expect to be doing the other job, which is not fun. But I mean, it's not fun, but it's not bad either. It's not a bad job. It's just I like this one more, and why tell me I'm going to be doing this job and then take it away from me? You know, so I'm standing up a little bit. I'm also really close to the end of the rope here, and I don't know if I'm going to tie a knot and add another rope or not. But there is going to be a knot in the rope of my life coming up really fucking soon. So I got off work and I hightailed it over to this concrete company. Walked in there and met up with the guys. They're all nice. They all look like they do concrete. So, I mean, everybody's hands were like fucking gigantic there. I don't know what that says, but everybody has like giant paws. I'm like, all right, cool. But they keep telling me, they're like, oh yeah, we don't do the labor stuff. I'm like, all right. And anyways, walked around, looked at their volumetric trucks. I did watch a couple of videos on volumetric trucks, and I did ask some good questions, you know, from the video. But I was like, how often do you guys calibrate those things? And he's like, I was like, do you calibrate them every morning? He's like, oh God, no. I'm like, okay, well then maybe that was a dumb question. He's like, how often do you calibrate them? He's like, once a quarter, if that. I was like, oh, okay. He's like, but you know, once you're pouring it, you realize you can see the consistency of it, and you can fine tune it as you go. He's like, they almost, you know, a lot of these newer trucks, you're not going to need to calibrate them really at all. They're ready to go. And if you're getting less sand or less water here or there, you know, you fine tune it. You have little knobs, you can fine tune it. It's like, so calibration, you know, is good, you know, to put up on the company website, but it doesn't really mean much. You know, they just want their concrete. But they were going through all the volumetric trucks. They got a couple more of the other trucks that look like a dung beetle almost or something. I don't know. They're really fucking weird looking, but he said they got 5 of those, and I think they got 5 of the volumetric. And the other one, the dung beetle that I'm mentioning, it's a standard concrete truck, except the barrel's on backwards, and the cab of the truck is in the middle of the truck. So he's like, yeah, we just like these a lot better. We don't have any of the other standard looking dump trucks. They're all these weird looking ones or these volumetric. And the volumetric is nice because if a guy is going to order, he's going to order 15 yards of concrete, and you go out there and he only needs 12. Well, you just saved the customer money, and there was no waste. And you don't have like the time frame is much more lax because you can't just have concrete rolling in a barrel all day. It'll go bad. It'll start setting up and shit, and you're going to lose it. So volumetric, you know, it's all raw materials, and you mix it as you need it. So there's no waste. It's like, really interesting. Okay, cool. So showed me the trucks, showed me a little bit of the operation. He's like, I'm not going to show you too much about the operation because that's something you're going to need to learn with other drivers, you know, once you get in here. I'm like, all right. And then we talked about, you know, other benefits and things. And I don't know. My wife is still really, well, not still. She's been on board the whole time. But every time I bring up the winter, she is not on board with it. She's like, well, that's just not possible. That's not an option then if winter's not going to be suitable. She's like, are you going to be able to, you need to at least be able to get your 40 through the winter. Well, at first she started out, she's like, you need to be able to get at least 50 hours a week through winter. I'm like, what? And I was like, I don't get 50 hours. I'm getting 50 hours a week right now in summer with my current job. I'm, you know, over there, they're talking, I might get more than that, but, you know, yeah, during winter, if I get 40 hours a week over there, I'm doing all right. I was like, also, I don't get PTO until I've been there for a year, you know. So there are some things to think about, you know. Once I've been there for a year, but all the benefits and stuff start up 60 or 90 days in, so that's pretty good. That's good and standard. But so I don't know. Talked to him, and he's like, I told him what I want to come over, and he said, well, I don't make the choice. That's up to the boss man. So I'll take all, you know, fill out an application, filled it out, you know, to the best of my ability, and then fill this out and tell me what you want, and I'll take it to the boss, and he'll call you tomorrow probably. So that's what I'm waiting on today. I'm kind of waiting on a phone call, and I'm hoping we can come to a good agreement. But like, you know, the probably more suitable option for me in my life, honestly, would be to stay where I'm at. And I'm trying to be honest, even though they're dangling it and it looks really good, and I really would like to come over there, but there is some uncertainty there, and where I'm at, I do have certainty. It's only, I'm going to be really disgruntled if I end up in this, staying right here. There's no knot in the fucking, the only knot is around my fucking neck in the rope. That would not be good. Just because that's emasculating. Going in thinking you're going to get a raise, you don't get a raise, you don't get the other job, and now you're just a fucking disgruntled employee. And they're like, yeah, oh well, there's weekend work this weekend. You wanted a raise, how about you just work on the weekend? Sure, boss, I'll do that. But I don't know. I'm hoping that a little bit of this will actually work. If I actually do come in there and throw down the 2-week notice, if the other company gives me what I'm hoping to get, and I do walk in there and drop a 2-week notice down on their desk, I think that's the only way I'm going to get any bargaining power. I mean, and I'm doing all this without talking to anybody at my company yet. So, I mean, I might be going a little bit hard on it, but I'm thinking I'm such a pushover all the time that anytime, if I'm going to need to stand up for myself, I'm going to really need to put my foot down to get anything. Otherwise, it's going to be empty threats to them, and they're not going to give a fuck. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. I'm just really hoping that I can get on. Oh, look, and there's nope, never mind. I thought that was the other company that I might be working for's truck. It was not. But I don't know. Hoping for this to work out in my favor, and it could, and it should. But like I've mentioned before, I'm a maniac. I freak the fuck out in my own mind a lot. My mind is not always an easy place to be. I get stressed. But anyways, had a good night with the kids last night. Got home after the interview process. Drove home. I was like, man, I could really get used to this drive home. This is such a nice... I mean, that was after I had already drove basically home from my other job, but my current job. But, just leaving that place, getting on like 2 roads and headed home and no traffic. There are a couple of roundabouts, which I'm not a big fan of, at least in the truck. In the bike, I do like roundabouts, but in the truck, I'm like, these are fucking dumb. I don't like them. But I was like, for a drive home, this would be fucking nice to be this close to my house. It is still like a 17-minute drive. Does not feel like a 17-minute drive. And maybe there might have been some GPS inaccuracies there, because I don't think that there's no way that 10 minutes further from that would be, like I'm going to my current job. But, oh well. It's a nice drive. I'm looking forward to that drive if I decide to take that job. That's the other thing. If I decide to take it, I'm over here. People want me. Well, at least one company wants me, and one company already has me. But, do you want to lose me, or do you want to keep me more than they want to get me? Got to figure it out. But no, back to the kids. Yep, got home after that and just laid on the floor. Me and my kids, we played Chutes and Ladders. We played Trouble. Or no, we didn't play Chutes and Ladders. We played Candyland. And of course, I had to cheat my way to lose in both games. He's like, Daddy, you're going the wrong way. I'm like, no, I got 6. I have to go backwards. Oh, if I get a 6, I have to go backwards? I was like, no, if I get a 6, I got to go backwards. how this works. He's like, what? I'm like, because I don't know. I let my kids win. I do. I do. I'm not gonna. Most of the time when I don't let them win, it's more of a problem. And maybe that says something. Maybe that says something I need to work on, showing them that losing in life is going to happen, and you're going to need to know how to deal with it. But anyways, just board games, I'm going to let them win. They're going to win every time. They win. Except for my daughter, she makes it halfway through a board game. She's like, I don't want to play anymore. I'm gone. And then she gets up and runs away. I'm like, get back over here. Come on, finish the game. No, I don't want to play the game. And then she starts doing something else, and then me and my son are like speed rounding it because he's a little quicker with directions and stuff. So me and him are speed rounding trouble, and she comes over. She said, I want to play. I'm like, we're still playing the game that you quit. I already put your pieces away. They were in the way. So, no, you don't get to play no more. And she was not happy at all. I was like, fine, we'll play again. Play again, and then she's like, I don't want to play. I'm like, this is what I'm talking about, chick. But we had a good time. My wife's sister was over. They took the kids out all day yesterday, doing all kinds of fun stuff. They had a good time, I'm guessing. And then, I don't know. I looked out at the yard, and I was like, if I was a really responsible person, I would go out there and mow right now. Because both of my neighbors on both sides of me and across the street from me all have nice trimmed lawns. And I'm just like, my yard in the front, the grass isn't tall. The grass isn't that high. But the fucking weed things that pop up in the middle of the grass, those are all over the fucking place. So it makes it look tall as fuck, but it needs mowed. It needs to be mowed. But I'm like, I've been out of town. I just got back. I want to spend time with my kids. I want to relax a little bit. I've also been on the road all day. I haven't, played with my phone at all, which that's a problem, but, whatever. It's the truth, and that's what happened. I don't want to go out and do work after work. I want to come home and relax. It's like, I'll do it this weekend. I ain't got nothing going on this weekend. I'll do it this weekend. So that's what I'm going to do. Mow this weekend at some point in time, and ride the bike, and hang out with the kids and the wife, and stuff like that. We're getting a bonus, but right now with the way, I don't know, I don't need to get into financials with y'all, but the way things are, we're not touching the bonus quite yet. And with a job opportunity on the horizon that may make me, have training pay in 60 days, well, not 60 days, but, it's going to be a gap between paychecks. That's going to be something we're going to need to hold on to that for a little bit. And that's also another reason, I need to make a decision right now, because if I wait too long, there's not going to be no bonus money, there's going to be no paycheck, and then I'm going to be, struggling for a couple of weeks. And I don't want to, I always do have the option to borrow money, but I don't want to use it. You know what I mean? I do not want to use that. I want to be self-sustaining. And so far, so good. I mean, to an extent. But, no, there's a lot of people in my life I need. I'm sure there's people in your life you need, but, there's no way I'd be even in the position I'm in without the help from others. So I appreciate them a lot, and I'm glad we're all square, I think. I imagine we're square. I don't think I owe anybody anything. So that's kind of nice, being square. Now my bills, we're not square on my bills. We got to get that shit paid up. But no, nothing's behind. It's just we gotta keep paying that shit, or else we will get behind. And I don't know. I'm really looking forward to this because all the figures that I looked up at the new job would be for 10 hours of overtime, and I'm like, that's nice. That's going to be nice. But it's definitely going to be more than 10 hours of overtime. So should be really nice for, that could be up to an extra $200 per day. An extra on top of what I'm currently getting. So that would be really, really interesting. To just have somebody hand you an extra $200 every single day. I'd be like, what the fuck am I working for? Somebody just handed me extra $200. I could just, but no, that's not enough to live off of, and not to sustain my current lifestyle. Not even my lifestyle, just my current life. A homeowner, a basic homeowner. You need more than that to sustain. But honestly, if it works out that way, and I can really put in the hours and get all the overtime, and they're not going to be hurting on me all the way up until December, there's got to be a way we can budget and put some money back. We can budget. We can try a little bit more, in order to help us through the winter time. But I don't know. Between now and then, there's no way I'm going to make up 3 months worth of salary. So it's not like I can just sit around during winter. I'm going to have to do something. But if I can do something, and I was also thinking about this, I'm like, what if I could get a job at a restaurant? For 3 months, I work at a restaurant. Just serve, cook, clean, dishes, because those guys don't. It's got to be a kind of a nicer restaurant to get the tip money, but I'm like, because that's something I've always fantasized about. I've done it before too, but I've always fantasized about, with me today working at a restaurant, I think I would be pretty fucking good at it. But it's like, I can't work at a fucking restaurant. But hey, if I got 3 months of the year where I need to make money, but it doesn't have to be, a full, it doesn't have to be the best paycheck in my fucking life. I can just, work there for a couple of months and then go back to making my real money and then come back. I'll be back next year. That would be, it's an interesting opportunity that my wife does not want to look at. She's like, you can't just say we'll figure it out. I'm like, we will though. Like, we will figure it out. Like, that would be kind of cool to not have a real, I don't want to say a real job, but instead of having a career for 3 months, I just have like a side hustle for 3 months. I can go out and do whatever the fuck I want, and if it doesn't work out, don't worry, because I can go work anywhere else. I can go work at the fucking Home Depot. I don't know if they would accept me for 3 months, but I could go, shovel snow, stuff like that. I even mentioned, I was like, I could be a bus driver. School's in for those months. I could go be a bus driver. I don't know. They're always looking for bus drivers. They don't pay very well, but it is, consistent work that needs to be done, 2 to 4 times a day, So, run a bus route. I would have to go get my license to do that, but I could do that. I got a good resume. I got a good driving record. I don't see why that would be too much of a problem. I'm gonna chew on the bus. I will have a dip in on the bus. I'm just gonna, if I end up riding the school bus, I'm gonna always have like a bottle of Coke or something sitting there. I'm gonna spit into, or a coffee cup. I'll be spitting into that. Nobody needs to know. Nobody cares. Just me. Bus driver Kletus. Hold on, kids. We're taking a shortcut. It'll be blaring fucking Motley Crue, riding through there. I'd be. I feel like either kids would appreciate it and they think it's all right, or I would be getting. Parents would be calling the school all the time, like, what your bus driver did? He was listening to Creedence Clearwater Revival on max volume the whole bus ride. It's like, well, that's too fucking bad. Get a different bus driver then. This bus driver is fucking rocking out, chewing tobacco, and getting your kids where they need to be. Might be a little late. That's okay. You don't need to be there exactly on time. Blame it on the bus driver. What are they going to do? Fire me? I don't know. I shouldn't push it too hard. Just, but anyways, my mind has been also racing in that regard, thinking I could do all kinds of stuff. If I got 3 months that I can do whatever I really want, or I could, if I save up enough, I could fucking, take a month off. Because like I said, they don't give out PTO until I've been there for a year. So I don't know. I don't know what it would exactly be, but I think there is going to be work to be done at this new company. I think if I push it hard enough and be like, look at my kids, I gotta have something to do, they'll work with me. They seem like really nice people, and that's kind of the message I've been getting from other people. No, they're good people. They're not going to let you starve. If you're a good employee, they'll take care of you. So I'm just hoping that would be a possibility. Maybe I could, I don't know. Anyways, I'm going to pause this until something else happens with my life. Otherwise, I'm just headed over here. I'm almost to the place to get loaded, load up some water, head to Oklahoma, and hang out at a hotel. Welcome to the same episode. This is the next day. I was waiting for something to happen in my life, and things did happen. I'll tell you, things did happen. I just didn't want to fire up the podcast again until after I had possibly gotten a phone call from this new employer, potential new employer, and I never got the phone call. Now that doesn't mean anything. That doesn't mean that they're not. I scared them off or anything. They need a driver. They are going to call. They just didn't have time yesterday. I guess they don't want to figure it out yesterday. They'll maybe today, maybe not. I don't know. But either way, I'm not holding that. I'm not worried about anything with that. They didn't call today. They'll call. I'm not freaking out. You're freaking out, okay? No, I'm not freaking out at all. I was like, well, they didn't call. That's all right. I'll wait till today, and if I don't hear anything by probably noon today, I'll probably send the guy a message and say, hey, is that too much money? Like, what? Did I ask for too much? I know I'm basically rolling into, if I get the job, I'm rolling into a Class D truck. There won't be much, if any, Class A duties for me to do. But I got Lady Trucker there, and she's in and out of the hospital all the fucking time. So she may call in, or somebody else, and they'll be like, hey, I need you to run rock. And I'll say, I'll fucking do it, dude. I will fucking do it. But no, my wife texted me this was, after I got loaded and I was headed back and I was, working my way over. I just crossed into Missouri. She texted me. She said, "Do you ever want to go see Bert Kreischer?" And I saw Bert K, and I just knew what it was. So I went in. I immediately called her. I don't mess with my phone too much while I drive, so the little preview will pop up on top of the screen when it fucking doodles, and I see Bert K. I'm like, I know who she's talking about. Let me call real quick. Bloop. I'm like, no. She's like, what? I was like, no. I was like, I don't know. I don't know. Bert Kreischer is a funny guy. And yeah, I'd go see him. I would go see him. But I don't want to listen to his podcast. I mean, his comedy show is supposed to be talking about himself. The podcast is supposed to be, trying to talk to other. Everybody knows everything about Bert. We don't give a shit about you, Bert. We want to hear what the other person has to say. Quit cutting them off. Quit making everything about you. And that's what Bert is all about. So I don't listen to his podcast anymore. I like the guy, but I'm not gonna. I try to listen to his podcast, and then every time I'm like, all right, we're gonna go ahead and move on. We're gonna just check out some other podcast now, which is fine. I'm not. I don't know. I guess I am holding it against him if my wife's like, "Do you want to go see him?" And I said no. I guess that's pretty bad. But if sorry, Bert. Sorry, Bert. I'll go. I'll see you next time. Maybe I'll still see you. She was like, "Oh, this is on in December, mid-December. He's coming to town, so we could go see him." And my first thought was, you realize if I take this new job, the middle of winter is not a time to go spend a couple $100s on fucking comedy tickets, right? Because I'm talking about, oh, we're gonna need to budget and save for winter. But anyways, the gist of the story was, I was like, no, the only person I'd probably be really excited to go see would be Shane Gillis. And I was like, I think he already came to town. I was like, I think he came like last weekend. She looked it up. She's like, no, he's coming this weekend. I said, oh, okay. I was like, yeah, that'd probably be the only thing I'd be interested in going to see. She's like, really? I was like, yeah. She's like, okay, well, talk to you later. I'm like, all right, love you, bye. And then she hung up, and then she texted me back. She's like, we got 2 tickets to Shane Gillis tomorrow. Be ready. I'm like, whoa, baby, what the fuck? I mean, you are spending my money, but hey, I didn't think, you know, as she is my financial advisor. I did not think that, buying tickets to go to a comedy store was in the cards, and it probably isn't. Yeah, honestly, it really isn't. There's like shit we need to buy. But you know what? She's like, we've never like gone on a date, so it'd be cool to go on a date. I'm like, yep, we'll do it. Hell yeah. So she's taking me on a date to see my favorite comedian, and it's gonna be a good time. I already know it. And when is that? That's fucking tomorrow, Saturday. That's fucking crazy. So very excited for that. I'm trying to think of any other news that was going on. I made it. I made it out here. I had to stay at a Roach Motel. Not kidding. Not kidding. And I was actually kind of impressed with it until I took a shit, and then I showered, and then I got cleaned up, and then I was about to walk out of the bathroom. I was like, oh, I forgot to fucking flush. I hit the flush, and a fucking roach fell down from underneath where the water comes. And I was like, oh. Because I was actually really impressed. I was like, this room almost mimics the Holiday Inn. It doesn't, but it almost does. And then a fucking roach fell out. I was like, okay. Oh, and whenever I get in there to take a shower, I was like, oh, fuck, there's no soap in here. Where am I going to put my cum? This is not good. I open the shower curtain, I look, and they have like a little bar of soap and a fucking little shampoo bottle. I was like, all right. Guess I'll be using that. And I hate those there's a hotel bars of soap. They make your skin feel like masking tape, but not exactly like, I don't know, masking tape that's been sitting in the sun for a while. The backside of masking tape, after you unroll it and it's been sitting in the sun for a while, so a little bit of the adhesive is on the other side, and you're like, what the fuck? I don't like it. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe it's only me. Maybe my skin has something going on with it. But I'm telling you, not gas station, hotel bars of soap make me feel like fucking weird. It makes me feel like plastic. Makes me feel like masking tape. I don't know. I don't like it. So, but that was the only option I had. So I went ahead and did it. But I washed my face with it, and then I washed my face again with shampoo. Most of my face is hair, but I washed the rest of my face with shampoo, and now it actually doesn't feel too bad. But anyways, Holiday Inn is just easier. They got everything right there ready to go. Ate my burger last night. I got a single, and it was made by somebody else this time. And listen, it was good, but I was like, can I get a side of ranch? Because I'm going to dip this burger in ranch. And usually that's not the case. So here it is. I'm complaining again. I'll just hold on. Um, it's like my mother-in-law cooked the burger. It was fucking charred all the way, top, bottom, side. It was charred. Now the bacon was also cooked kind of in the same fashion, but the bacon was actually really good. But the burger itself, it was completely burnt. So I was like, I'm still gonna eat it. It's still got like wet stuff all around it that tastes good. Just the burger piece does not taste good. So I'm just gonna fucking dunk it in ranch and act like it doesn't exist. And it was actually pretty good with ranch too. But I got my burger, my fries. I did get a side of macaroni, and I put they have like some special barbecue sauce. I don't know what it is, but I put a little barbecue sauce in my macaroni and stirred it around. It was like barbecue mac. Oh, it was pretty fucking good. Of course, I don't have a spitter. Why would I have a spitter? I cleaned out the truck already, and now I have nothing to spit into. I'm gonna try to dump out this hot bottle of water. Bingo! Bingo bango! Hot bottle of water emptied. I stopped. I got myself a couple of Red Bulls on my way up. I only drank one of them, but I got another one with me. But I don't. I had already had a Red Bull, and I was driving. I was like, I'm kind of tired. I'd like to drink something. And I was telling y'all before, I got these Alani drink packets things, drink mix packets. And those are so fucking strong. I mean, they work, but it's so hard for me to just drink that down because it's so flavorful. So I started, holding my thumb in the middle of the packet and just doing half a packet. And luckily, I only had half a packet left. But I was like, I'll add a little bit more flavor to it. Where's my Mio? Because I got that Mio blue energy drink shit. It's fucking gone, guys. It's gone. I I'm not gonna say I almost wrecked the truck because I did not, but I was hardcore like dumping out my backpack. I'm like, where in the fuck is my Mio? It's gone. I don't know where it's at. I've been parked now and I've been able to search the whole truck. It's gone. No idea where the motherfucker went. But anyways, got railroad tracks up ahead. I gotta stop at the railroad tracks. Here we go. All right, come on around me, car. Got a few cars that want to run around me. Come on, babies. There you go. Now you guys don't have to pass me on the straightaways. Isn't that cool? Isn't that nice what I did for you guys? I could have put my flashers on, stabbed the brakes, and then fucking hit the throttle again, and all you guys got to slam on your brakes and do 26 miles an hour for fucking 5 minutes. But, where was I going? Oh, yeah, I don't know. I was fine yesterday, but I don't know. It was just, that was an intense moment in my life yesterday was, where the fuck is my Mio? I can't fucking find it. Taking around, looking on the floor, everything. Because I have these heartburn pills that I take. Omeprazole. It's fucking good. If you get heartburn ever, or if you like get acid reflux or anything like that, I'm not a doctor. Just but go ask yours about omeprazole, and then he's gonna be like, "I'll write you a prescription." You're like, "Hey, actually, I don't have to go to the fucking pharmacy. I go to the pharmacy, but I don't have to go to the fucking guy at the window and wait in line for fucking 18 grandpas to get their fucking Viagra. I can just walk into the fucking shelves and they sell it right there, and they sell it in wild berry mint outside coating, and it's pretty fucking delicious. I mean, you don't eat them as candy. Don't eat them as candy, but take one of those every day. I never have to deal with heartburn, acid reflux, none of that. Anyways, I took my last one the other day. Anyway, that was rolling around the floor. Because I had pulled it out to take one, and I was like, where the fuck did that go? I found it. There's only one left in there, my motherfucker. So, but that's good. You can go about a day without taking one. I'm over here just fucking ain't got shit to fucking talk about. Something's buzzing on my door. What the fuck is buzzing? There's something inside my door buzzing. There's got to be. Um, I watched a movie last night called The Firm. Did not watch it all. It's on YouTube Movies. Go to YouTube Movies and click the free section. Boom, there's free movies there. And they're good movies. But I watched The Firm. I thought it was something else, I guess. But it was an alright movie. I actually fell asleep before it ended, but I watched most of it. I got the gist of it. I don't need to see the rest. Um, Other than that, yeah, just kind of hung out. Had an okay time. Had an okay dinner. And yeah, I got there at like 5 o'clock. So just kind of laid around. It's kind of nice. But I'm excited for tomorrow. I'm excited for today to get home. I think I might be able to get home at a pretty decent time today. And then, I don't know, depending on the weather, mow the yard. I have a pretty chill day today, I think. So mow the yard and then, I don't know, kind of mill around the house. Really need to load up my truck. It's gross. It's really gross. And I've been keeping it a secret a little bit. Not really, because it's in plain view of my house if you drive by. Don't drive by, please. Uh, there's a toilet on my porch, my back porch, and there's a dishwasher down there by my fence. Now, the dishwasher's kind of camouflaged, but the toilet's out there right in the open. And it was a clean toilet when I took it out, but it it's got like the yellow stain on the inside, and now it's got like moss growing in it. I'm like, oh god, really need to take care of that. I just don't want to carry that motherfucker down the stairs. I feel like I'm gonna fall through my deck if I carry that thing. And I've thought about throwing it over the edge, but then I don't want to pick up all the porcelain if it breaks, you know? So I don't know. I could take it apart. I'll probably end up taking it apart and taking it down 2 sections at a time or something, and then put it in the back of my pickup truck and take it to my work and throw it in the dumpster. Need to clean up around the house. That's what I need to do. I need to clean up my garage. I need to collapse boxes. I have tons and tons of boxes that are really probably mainly from like Christmas and birthdays. There's just boxes everywhere, all over my fucking garage. And they're not really like in the way, but I need to collapse them down, get them taken out. There is a recycling place that you can take them. You can take them up to like the bins or whatever and toss all that shit for free. That'd be kind of nice to do. And I don't know. I'm thinking with like I've got more free time with this job than I will with the next job if I take the next job. So I think that's going to be one of my complaints if I get this next job. But you know, if I'm not living paycheck to paycheck and I'm able to buy what I want to buy when I want to buy it, I'm not. I don't think. I think the reward is worth it. You know, worth. You know, that's what we're all doing here, anyways, aren't we? You're trading your time for money. You know, you're like, I will go do what you want me to do all week long for the rest of my life for this amount of money. It's like I'm trading time with my kids and like stuff that I want to do with my own life and risking my life coming out here driving a truck for you. You know? And you're like, you're not worth more money. You're not worth it. Like, motherfucker, I could die every day driving this fucking truck. I mean, you could die every day staying at home too. But I'm not at home, and nobody pays me to be at home. So that's all on me. But this is all on you, okay? Give me fucking a decent amount. I'd like to be able to live before I die. And I am living. I know a lot of people have it way worse than me. Let me just preface that. I'm over here just on my fucking soapbox. I have it really good. No matter all the shit that I'm upset and sad and mad and just making fun of, I have it really good. I do notice that. I know I've got it good. I see the people that don't have it good, and I feel bad for them. But I don't know. Everybody's got to figure out their own shit. I got enough shit to figure out for myself. I can't help you figure out your problems too. Sometimes I try to help, but most of the time, I got my own shit to worry about. I do have it pretty good. I understand that. Not everybody has the fucking 99 DR 650. I've got it pretty fucking good. Not everybody has the 1992 Chevy K1500 extended cab 4-wheel drive with the 5-speed shift. Not everybody has that, okay? And I got to realize how rare that is. Not everybody has a square body that's in pieces and in some sort of construction phase right now. Not everybody has that. I remember when I didn't have a square body in the shape that it is right now, and I felt like I was missing out. And now I got it, and I still don't work on it because I'm lazy. And it takes money, and I don't want to. If I look at it and start messing with it, I'm going to want to buy something. Just don't mess with it. I won't buy anything. You know, let it sit there. It's fine. It's on concrete. It's tires are aired up. It's sitting there. You know, safe, sound at my house. You know, it's all right. But not everybody has two children, two beautiful, wonderful children. My kids are actually really good. I see other people's kids. I'm like, you wish you had my kids. I bet. My kids are really fucking good. I love them. And my wife. Some people have a wife that runs around on them, okay? I don't think mine does. She ain't got time. I keep her fucking in the kitchen, working. doing, doing motherly duties. So she ain't got time to run around. I got her, and she's beautiful and amazing. So I got it really good. And not everybody owns a house. I don't even own the house, but we're paying to own the house. So it's like my house. I don't have fucking Chip coming over and saying, I'm going to clean your gutters out and throw all the shit on the ground so your dogs will eat it. I had a guy do that. No shit. A real guy came to my house, not my house, his house that I was staying in, cleaned the gutters and threw all the shit on the floor, and my dogs ate it. And then they threw up that shit from outside, inside, all over the carpet. And then he charged me for the fucking carpet when I moved out. I'm like, are you fucking kidding me? What are you talking about? You threw black sludge out of my gutters in my backyard, out of your gutters in your backyard, and then my dogs ate it and threw it up on your carpet. I guess when you kind of say it like that, it's like I was a home intruder and I let my dogs throw up inside your house. But hey, we were under contract, and I made a big stink. I was like, hey man, my dogs are eating that shit you threw out of the gutter. They'll be fine. They ain't dead, are they? Like, hey, fuck you. Fuck you, dude. What else? What else? What else? I got me a Black Rifle mocha, rich mocha to drink right now. I'll tell you what, the Days Inn Hotel, lackluster, to say the least. And that's not a phrase I say all the time. Uh, the room wasn't too bad until I saw the Roach. Had good TV, it had the same TV channels as Holiday Inn. But when I walk out and I turn in my key card, they have a breakfast area set up. They have warmers, but it was like the latest I've ever heard of somebody putting out breakfast is 6:30. And it was like 6:50, and I go down and the warmers weren't even plugged in. I was like, okay, they're not putting anything in there. What do they got? They had muffins, and then they had a little fridge there. I opened it up, and there's fucking expired milk and orange juice sitting there. I was like, all right, well. I turn around, they have a coffee pot that has not been turned on, or it's been on. No, it was on. I don't think it was from this morning, though. So, I think that was the coffee that when I showed up at 5 o'clock yesterday, they had it sitting ready. Probably still the same coffee pot, so I just got the fuck out of there. I did grab a muffin, but anyways, I'm not going to complain too much about the hotel. They didn't have extra shit. That's okay. Whatever. I'll be all right. I don't need. I was like, I'm going to go over to the Holiday Inn because it's right next door. I'm going to go over there and say, hey, I'm a gold member, and I'm going to eat the breakfast here. You guys didn't have enough rooms for me last night, so I had to stay at that fucking Roach Motel. I'm coming over here to eat fucking biscuits and gravy, bitch. I'm coming over here to eat biscuits. I'm a gold member, by the way, just so you know. I know it's not as good as Platinum Elite, but I'm a member. Okay, listen, I'm working on it. If I would have stayed there, I'd have been even closer to being Elite member. Motherfuckers. And that's the other thing. I walked out of my hotel and there was like 4 cars in the parking lot. I'm like, okay, I thought all the hotels were going to be getting booked up like quick as fuck. Apparently I'm wrong. Only the Holiday Inn. Fucking hoity-toities moved into town. They all wanted to stay at the Holiday Inn and they're like, Days Inn? No. We'll be alright. We'll sleep in the car. I don't know, but the other 2 hotels, there was a Comfort Inn. I should have called them first and seen if I could stay there because they do breakfast, but Days Inn was deserted still. They're like, yeah, oh yeah, it's a really busy time. We got this thing going on this weekend, so all the hotels are booking up. And Days Inn is like, yeah, we have vacancy. You can stay here. Nobody wants to stay at the Days Inn. I don't think I'll do that again. I thought I stayed at the Days Inn once before, but I've definitely stayed at the Comfort Inn right there next to Holiday Inn. I've stayed at both of those, but when I was looking up after Holiday Inn said no, we ain't got no rooms, I looked at the map. I was like, well, the truck parking is right in front of Days Inn. Let me just call them. Called them, and then when I walked in there to check in, I was like, I don't think I've ever stayed here before. I thought I did, but I definitely have not. I've not had to walk through a breezeway to get to my room. But no, I thank them. It was a good time for what I needed. I needed somewhere to sleep and jerk off, and that was a great place to do that. And now I'm driving through immense fog. I don't know what immense exactly means, but I feel like that's a good word to use for the fog that I'm driving through right now. It's pretty thick shit. I can see maybe an eighth of a mile. That's plenty. That's more than I had on my DR650 before I realigned my headlight. Driving this. Gonna take me down into Winoka. Zigzag through Winoka, and then head on down, go right past Little Sahara State Park. Keep on going down and then turn left onto whatever that fucking highway is. I want to call it 412, but I don't know if that's it. And take it down and go to the disposal facility. Part of me wants to sit there for an hour before, like, because sometimes they'll have me sit there and wait for like an hour and then bring me in. Part of me wants that. Part of me wants to just get in, get out, and get the fuck home. I'd like to miss some traffic on this Friday after work. I'm in the truck again. Not sure why. I just decided to take the truck again because it was my wife's sister was over and she parked in my fucking spot on Wednesday. So when I got home, I couldn't park in the driveway. And I was not happy. I didn't say anything to anybody, but I was like, I really like my truck in my drive, even though it's on the side of the road. There's nothing wrong with it on the side of the road, but I don't know. It's just like felt a little invasive, having you own a house and then you can't even park in your own driveway. Mm-mm. Uh-uh. No siree. Don't like that. So instead of hopping on the motorcycle, and it needs gas. The motorcycle needs gas for sure. It needs fucking gas. And I thought about filling it up Wednesday, but I just wanted to hang out with the kids at home. Take that dirt bike out. I'll end up going around like the block 18 times. Like, where are you? I'm like, I'm just getting make sure the bike's good to go for the next day. Just riding around, having a good time. Yeah, the blinker is nice on this fucking. Yeah, so I just drove the truck again. It's got enough gas in it. And it runs good. I need to figure, I don't know if I want to change anything about it because it sounds kind of cool at idle. But it idles, like the idle is set too low because it just blah, 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 and it's shaking the truck and everything. It's like I got something under the hood, but it's like, no, this is just a V6. It's not tuned. This is not anything special at all. It's a V6 non-tuned, just sounding like it's got a cam in it. And it, like, no, Nope, no cam. Just I changed spark plugs and wires and cap and rotor, and something's off. Something's definitely off. But the weird running issue that it was having, where it was like cutting out and stuff, that's done. It doesn't do that anymore. I don't know what I did to do that. Does not make any, doesn't have any issues anymore. Not sure what the hell, other than the idle. But yeah, it used to cut out at high idle in fifth, and then now I can leave it in fifth, or not high idle, but under heavy load in fifth gear, like going up a hill. It would just like start cutting out and stuff. But now it just runs fine. So I don't know what the hell's going on with it. Part of me thinks it's running a little bit lean, and maybe that's why it sounds like it's got a cam in it. Really need to change out the fuel filter. That's one thing I tried to do, and then I stripped out with a fucking bolt for it. So my theory of what I need to do is to cut the fucking fuel line, reflare it, and put on another little section, and then with the new flange and everything on it. But I'm like, I don't want to do that. Don't really want to do that, but it's something that I guess is going to have to be done. I'll flare it for pretty far back though, just so it's not too close. I guess more new fuel line is better than less new fuel line. I don't know. I don't even know what I'm saying. I'm gonna get that fuck out of here. Okay. Talk to you guys later. Keep all 18 down. Adios. Bye bye.